about how to integrate the rapid support forces into the army got in the way. Amgad Fareid El-Tayeb is a Sudanese politician and the Assistant Chief of Staff to former Prime Minister Abdallah Hamdok. He joins us from Khartoum. Sir, do you have any contact with either the RSF or the army?
RSF and the army are in an active war situation. No civilian is having any sort of contact with them. The only way to have conversation with them is by guns in the streets, which shows how much irresponsible is the leadership of the RSF and the leadership of the army towards this country. What's happening right now is shame on both of them, and it exposes them as non-genuine political actors, and does not have the interest of democracy and stability of this country in their heart, regardless the lip service that they have been providing during the political process for the past few months.
Well, so the RSF claim that they are fighting for democracy, and they are calling on the Sudanese people to join them. What are your thoughts on that?
The RSF is a paramilitary force, and the fight for democracy is through democratic means, through the peaceful means, through the non-violent means. Guns do not bring democracy. Guns bring only killing or instability. And the problem is that the RSF is playing on the Stockholm syndrome that have affected many actors in the domestic political scene and in the international community, who have been fooled by the statements that the leader of the RSF is being presenting. Part of the democracy and the civil state is having unified army, is having a national army, and is having one center for the making in the executive, and having the military establishment under civilian oversight. And the outbidding with guns and the blackmailing with the status quo and weapons and forces is not the way to bring back democracy. What's happening right now is fight for power between the partners of the coup. RSF and SAF and the Sudanese army were equal partners in the coup that aborted the democratic transition in October 2021, and they were fighting and still fighting over the spoils of this coup.
And sir, if I can just jump in, where does that fight for power leave the transition towards civilian rule in Sudan?
It actually has it's known that the transition to civilian rule in Sudan have been aborted by the coup that both RSF and SAF conducted in 2021. Unfortunately, the political process that have been initiated and fostered by many international actors for a few months now have become a field for distribution of power seats, and did not address or failed to address the root causes and the issues of the coup itself, which allowed both military side to manipulate it while they were looking at other gains from it. And the fight right now between RSF and SAF is clear example and evidence for this. Both do not have genuine interest or genuine will towards the civilian transition or towards democratic transition, or they will not have had their coup since the beginning. They manipulated the political process, and right now they are showing utmost irresponsibility towards this country and its citizens by fighting this fight in civilian and residential areas.
All right, Amgad Fareid El-Tayeb, Sudanese politician, the Assistant Chief of Staff to former Prime Minister Abdallah Hamdok. Thank you for joining us.